Today, we're going to trace the absolutely incredible journey of cricket. I mean, we're talking about a sport that started as a simple country game and somehow grew into a global phenomenon that billions of people follow. So let's dive in and figure out how that happened. So, what's the secret sauce? How did a game played by boys in a field end up conquering the world? Well, it's a story of evolution, some serious innovation, and yeah, a little thing called the British Empire. To really get it, we've got to go way back to the beginning, back to the fields of rural England. Our story doesn't kick off in some giant, flashy stadium. Nope. It starts in the fields, way back in 13th century England, where the earliest, most basic form of this game was just starting to take shape. Just try to picture this for a second. You've got some kids out in a field, the ball is literally a stone, and the bat looks more like a big curved stick. And the whole point of the game? Just hit a target before the batsman can smack the ball away. It was simple, it was informal, but that right there, that was the spark. And that target they were aiming for? That was called a wicket. The goal was for the bowler, the person throwing the ball, to hit this thing and knock off that little crossbar on top, the bail. And you know what's crazy? That one simple objective is still the absolute heart of the game today. Okay, so let's jump forward a few centuries. The game starts getting a bit more organized, a bit more serious, and it's not just kids playing anymore. Cricket starts catching the eye of some very different and very influential people. All of a sudden, it's not just a boys' pastime. You've got adults playing, and you know what happens when adults start competing, betting. And where there's betting, money starts to flow. This brought in wealthy patrons, nobles who saw a chance for some great sport, and, let's be honest, a chance to make a profit. And this is where things really start to change. The bettors and nobles, they wanted to win, right? So they started putting together their own teams. To do that, they went out and hired the best players they could find from the villages. And just like that, you have the very first professional cricketers. Things escalated pretty quickly, and by 1709, you have the first match between teams representing whole counties. The game was officially getting serious. Now, once you have professionals and money on the line, you can't just be making things up as you go. You need rules. This next phase in cricket's story is all about some game-changing innovations that basically created the sport we know today. And in 1744, it finally happened. The game got its first official rulebook. This was a huge deal. It created a standard set of laws that everyone had to play by. This also paved the way for the famous Marylebone Cricket Club, or MCC, which to this day is seen as the guardian of the game's laws. Okay, what happened next is a perfect example of how sports evolve. It's a technical revolution in two parts. First, around 1760, bowlers stopped just rolling the ball along the ground. They started pitching it over arm, which meant way more speed and bounce. Well, that old curved hockey stick style bat was suddenly useless against a fast bouncing ball. So what happened? Batsmen had to adapt, and they created the straight bat we see today. It was a total game changer. So, with all this new structure and innovation, the game was ready for the big time. In 1772, we see the official start of first-class cricket. This was a new chapter, the beginning of top-level, officially recognized matches that set the stage for everything that was to come. So, cricket is now fully established in England, but its journey was really just getting started. The next chapter isn't just about the sport. It's about how it spread across the entire planet, right alongside the expansion of the British Empire. And you can really see how it spread on this timeline. I mean, it reached North America way back in the 17th century. By the 18th, it's in the West Indies, India, and Australia. And here's a great piece of trivia for you. The first ever international cricket match wasn't England versus Australia. Nope, it was the USA versus Canada, all the way back in 1844. Who knew? So now we have cricket being played on different continents, but things are still a little disorganized globally. The 20th century was all about fixing that, creating a formal structure to manage the international game. So in 1909, the three big powerhouses of the cricket world at the time, that's England, Australia, and South Africa, they all got together. They formed what was called the Imperial Cricket Council. This was the first official body designed to run the highest level of the game, those epic 5-day contests known as test matches. Now, at first, it was a very exclusive club, just those three founding members. But slowly, that circle started to get bigger.
Before World War II, the West Indies, New Zealand, and India all got invited to the top table. And then Pakistan joined them in 1952. The game was truly becoming global.
As the game grew, so did its legends. And there is one player, one number, that just stands in a class all by itself. No history of cricket is complete without this. Just look at that number on the screen, 99.94. What on earth could that mean? That number is the career batting average of Australia's Sir Donald Bradman. Now, to put that into perspective for you, most of the greatest batsmen in history are considered legends if they average around 50 runs. This man averaged nearly 100 every time he went out to bat. It's just mind-boggling. As the Cricket Bible, Wisden, put it, he was far and away above everybody else. So there you have it. From a simple game with a stone ball to a global spectacle with professional superstars watched by billions. It really is an unbelievable story. And it kind of leaves you with one big question, right? What is it about a sport that lets it survive for centuries, cross oceans, and connect with so many different cultures all over the world?